I ain't no kid, she ain't no lady. If I don't sin, Lord, how's she gonna save me? Ain't no one's fault, these things get blown apart. Dollar signs on our fingertips. Honey tastes sweeter, Lord, on any...
That, everybody, was Matt Sullivan playing Nature's Will, a song about a vindictive, high-maintenance woman. And I thought perhaps that could be an analogy to a boat. I don't buy into the whole, the worst day of your life is when you buy the boat, the best day of your life is when you sell the boat. I don't care. I don't like buy into that, and that, you know, a boat is this burden. Ball and chain, right, all that shit.
Right, well, obviously we'd not be doing the Boaty show if that's how we felt.
No. Clearly. So here we are, Stephanie Weiss.
Yes, here we are, Jeff Pennington.
Episode 2 of the Boaty Show.
We are back.
We've received some feedback.
We have.
Positive.
I mean, whatever people don't like, they have not told us.
Except for our friend Rob.
Oh, yeah. Rob gave us a lot of feedback, and we can't remember what it was. Yeah, I do want to say that we did receive some really amazing, like, detailed feedback from Rob Hohen from Round Island, and we love that feedback, but we haven't fully integrated it yet.
No,
so.
because he's from Round Island, we were like, okay, whatever, buddy.
Ouch. I feel like this is ouch. But
moving on from ouch.
Okay, moving on.
Where are we today?
We are both here in the beautiful Thousand Islands.
In person, no FaceTime.
Yeah. I mean, we're like together.
And what have we done today?
Well, today we went to the Polar Bear Dip.
Which is
a fundraiser for our local hospital where people jump in the frozen river.
Yep. And you are the director of development fundraising for this hospital.
Right. So, you know, in general, I am in charge of this ridiculous event where like over 100 people jump in the frozen St. Lawrence River in February. Like, that's a thing.
Yeah. And what did I do?
You were a judge.
And that meant that I held up the number 5, which was the highest score possible.
Yes.
Over and over for over 100 times, because if you jump in a river, frozen river, you get the highest score possible, of course. And I sat next to our friend Will
Ramsire,
and
will be a future guest.
He will be a future guest. We had a good time. And there were boats around, but all of them, I don't think I saw a single boat in the water today.
Oh, I did.
Where?
The Uncle Sam boat lines are already in the water.
Because?
Well, because they're opening early, eclipse, blah, blah. But also, like, I was like, do they ever come out, or are they just staying with bubblers? There's so many questions. I don't know. I just say it.
They're steel boats. They might just stay in. They don't even need bubblers.
Right.
They don't care about ice. Yeah.
We should add bubblers to the list of topics.
So, Polar Bear Dip was something, especially because it raised over $94,000 for River Hospital, which is a small critical access hospital in rural upstate New York, which most of the people participating in this are local or not too far away, which is a big deal. So it's the community raising a lot of money for its hospital. Mm-hmm. And we could talk about this hospital at length, but that's Steph's job. And talking about your work on the Boaty Show is verboten.
But it was like, maybe it wasn't a super boaty event, but it was a super watery event.
It was,
which I feel like is adjacent to boaty.
Yeah, and by the way, the whole thing took place on a dock, actually a dock complex, a dock bar called The Point, which is its new name. It used to be called Rum Runners, and we're working on renaming it to the old name because
it was better.
Yeah, it was. And it's my favorite place. When anybody ever says, hey, where should we go? What do I say?
You always say Rum Runners. Always.
Yeah, because you can get a drink and a bite to eat on a dock, and why not?
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like also they're like, I mean, I don't know if some people listening to this might know the Thousand Islands and some don't, but there's a lot of surface area in the Thousand Islands. Like, there's so many islands that there's a lot of land. There's just a ton of land, right?
Yeah.
Like
shoreline. There's shoreline everywhere.
Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. So there can be there's so many places to go, but also like some of them are just the best. And Bonnycastle point situation is
The best.
really good. It's right on the main channel. They have just delightful offerings. It's relaxed.
This is free advertising.
Oh yeah, they're our new sponsor. Yeah,
we are completely unprepared for ad copy today.
That's fine. Well, I'm just going to text them right now. Hold on. You keep going.
Are you going to text them and ask for ad copy?
No, I'm going to ask them for money.
No, because if we get paid for this, well, actually, no, we don't need to talk about that. Right now, this is the second episode. We're still doing it for fun. I think we'll always do it for fun.
And also make money. I mean, I am a fundraiser by job right now. So it's just where my head goes.
Okay, got it. I want to talk about the boat of the week. Can we talk about that?
Yes. I mean, I feel like I rolled with this in the last episode. I just rolled right with it. Like you were like, I'm doing boat of the week and I couldn't see it. And I'm like, so I just had to say, is it hot? Like over and over again. And I feel like that's unfair. I'd like to see the boats. That's all I'm asking.
Before we do boat of the week?
Well, as we're doing it.
All right. I'll pull up pictures.
Can you do that? Is that easy?
Yeah, these pictures will be on social media.
I can't really vote on a boat I haven't seen.
No.
I can vote on a boat I haven't driven. I can vote on a boat that I haven't purchased.
You'd seen some of the pictures, right?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, and I even, like, for our listeners, I feel like, how do they know? Maybe it doesn't matter because they don't get to vote.
No.
Sorry, listeners.
Yeah. No, they don't get to vote. They get to submit. We have a, I spent the morning actually looking at boats all on land in a barn. This is the candidate for boat of the week. It's pretty basic. It's a Boston Whaler Dauntless. It's 17 feet long. It's blue and white, blah, 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 whoever. Who cares? It is a...
What did I say? Mastercraft.
That was the other boat of the week candidate. But this one, because it's a 17-foot boat, and what does that outboard motor say on it?
The outboard says Racing 450.
And it's big and shiny and bulbous and...
Remind me the length of...
17 feet.
Okay, just checking.
So that is... What is that?
It's an order of magnitude larger than it should be.
Right. How much horsepower do you think should be on that boat?
I mean, honestly, for... What is it? It's a 19?
17.
17? It says a 90 is fine. Or even a
what's
70.
What's the max you'd put on there?
I don't know what the max is. It's just not my area. I have to know that kind of thing.
Okay. I said 115.
Yeah, seems reasonable.
Just as like what you would put.
But also, that's a lot. 115 is a lot. 450 is ridiculous.
You know what's awesome? We inspected this ridiculousness and looked closer and closer and closer until we saw, its name. Here's a picture of that, Double Trouble.
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
Good.
Nice.
And then we zoomed in and saw this, the manufacturer's sticker on that same motor, which says what?
Horsepower. It looks like the max should be 115.
No, that's the motor. That's the actual horsepower of the motor.
Oh, really? Oh, I see. So what happened here?
Somebody put 450 horsepower stickers on their 115 horsepower motor, which...
Oh, is that real? Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what happened with this.
So it's funny and less dangerous than we thought.
This is why it's the boat of the week, because somebody did that.
All right. Hats off.
Hats off.
I like it.
Although, I'm going to nominate another boat of the week.
Wait, can we go back to that sticker?
Yep, hold on.
Okay.
This is the other candidate for boat of the week.
Ooh, smoking.
It is an 80s Mastercraft ski boat.
Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and tip my hand, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you show me a fucking ski boat, I'm going to make it win. And that is always my vote. They're just, why are they all so hot? Why?
Well, I'm going to show you another couple pictures.
Oh, stop it right now.
What are we looking at, Stephanie?
Oh, the interior. Oh, my God.
And
there's basically hi, I'm IKEA, and I developed a couch that also has a chaise lounge on the side, and then I put it in a boat.
Yeah.
And then next to it is a bucket seat, and then next to that is a kind of a cushy ass, like I'm on top of the inboard motor situation.
What I love about ski boats is that the engine cover, which is this big hatch that sits in the middle of the deck of the boat and covers the engine. What I like about ski boats is the engine cover is always completely upholstered. And I don't know why, but it is.
But
in ski boats.
Well, I mean, because you're going to need the space, and you're absolutely right, and that's it's an amazing feature. But I'm going to point out something else that I'm just right now noticing for the first time. Ski boats, by definition, have people pointing front and back because you're a spotter. But that's actually what makes it fun to hang out on boats is if people can look in the everybody's facing the same direction all the time.
We'll post a picture of this interior on the.
But do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no.
We talk about boat interiors all the time, how to make them cool.
We want them to be kind of like diner booths.
Right, but the fact that you can be there's some people are looking forward and some are looking back is going to make that boat a lot more fun to hang out in.
True. So the point with a ski boat is you've got somebody driving and they just look forward, and then you have next to them somebody who's watching the skier behind
with a chaise lounge.
In a chaise lounge in this John, and there's a great lettering Mastercraft across the interior of the transom, and then on the dash is that. Okay, you can see it through the steering wheel in this picture. There's a single slalom skier wearing an old school 4-buckle life vest hanging way over off of the ski rope.
It's really good.
I think that's stock. I think this boat came with that.
Do not start engine while someone is boarding boat. It's great advice.
True. All right, so we have 2 boats.
Number 2.
Mastercraft
Number 2.
80 ski boat wins. There we go.
I'm sorry, fake whaler, but every single time.
I agree with you. I was excited that somebody had put 450 horsepower stickers on their 115 horsepower mower, but in the end,
doesn't make a Mastercraft.
Doesn't make it a Mastercraft.
Man, that this.
All right. So while we were in this, like I said, I spent the morning looking at boats. I was in a boat barn. My father was fixing the stern thruster on his boat, and I walked around this boat barn.
Wait. Stern thruster?
Yeah. How do we feel about that as a boaty name?
Wait, does he really have a stern thruster?
Yeah, well, he has a bow thruster also.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But you know what's funny about the stern thruster and the bow thruster? At least on...
Besides the fact that they're called, additionally.
Stern thruster?
Sure. Yeah,
you know what?
Go.
It's just getting through my thick head, the entendre that you were just goofing about. It took a bit.
Okay. All right.
So he doesn't want to. He hates using them. He doesn't ever want to use them.
Why?
Because they might stop working and then he won't be able to dock.
I think he's got a great point.
That shit happens.
I think he's got a great point.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know.
Get over-reliant on your thrusters. It happens. I mean, I've heard of it happening. It hasn't happened to me yet.
This is a family podcast. I don't know if we're going to have to cut that, but I toured the barn, the storage barn.
I'm going to interrupt you yet again because I got a text message from you within the last 48 hours that talked about ball thrust.
That's what happens in the text thread stays in the text thread.
No, so that's not a thing. For all I know, it is a thing, and it has to do with I don't know,
there's
freaking ball hitch. I don't know. Is it real or fake? You were faking?
That was fake.
Okay,
the guy was backing a sailboat into a dock in front of a restaurant, and I said that. I was trying to say that's ballsy.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, I'm just saying it's hard to tell sometimes. There's a lot of thrusters in the world. And I'm glad to know that they're not all.
There's a lot of boaty.
So, anyway, as you were. Go.
As you were. So, interestingly, boats and cars often end up in hangar/barn situations. And so I was walking around this heated boat storage area where in the North Country, lots of people want to keep their boats indoors in the winter, not outdoors, shrink wrapped or whatever. And I found a bunch of boat names. So we're going to scroll through those and I'm going to ask you to read them.
Me?
Yep. Okay. Ready. Here we go. First one.
Millie B.
Yeah. It's like a boat name. Millie B. A lot of boats are named after
women.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next.
Hammered all day with 2 crossing hammers and a compass sign behind it, and then Palm Beach, Florida underneath it.
Hammered all day.
Hammered all day. Okay, got it. Sunk right in.
Hammered can mean what?
Well, I don't think we really need to explain that to our listeners.
No. But also we talk about when we hit the throttle.
Oh, hammer down. Sure.
Maybe. Okay. We've also over the years discussed how boat pun names happen. So this one is
Happy Hours. So OURS. Happy Hours. 2 martini glasses. And what island?
Barnhart Island, New York.
Barnhart Island.
Yeah.
I liked that one though.
Yeah, it's good. Happy
I thought that
Hours.
last one, I thought that last one was nice and like it wasn't like skeevy.
No.
It was like it was nice.
Yeah. This one?
Captain Morgan 3.0.
How do I feel about Captain Morgan, the alcohol?
You like it.
No, I don't.
You don't like it.
I have self-esteem, which means I don't drink Captain Morgan.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I feel like
If you're going to spice your rum, you're like, what are you doing? What are you
I feel
doing?
like this completely conflicts with how much you like pirates.
It does. But
Okay, well.
okay. Next.
Sunny and 75.
I imagine that somebody who has this boat is 75 years old or named Sunny.
Yeah. Okay. Keep going.
You're not thrilled about
I
that.
don't know.
Yeah.
It seems a little gloaty. You know what I mean? A little
Yeah.
gloaty. Sunny and 75.
You know what?
I'm so glad you're having fun. Have a nice day. Bye.
Yeah. I think that's all the boat names I have. I found a sticker on a windshield in this boat barn.
Boat Owners United Land Sucks. That's pretty good.
It's a good sticker.
It's pretty good.
And then I found this sweet Tiara 13. What is it? Let's see here. Tiara Yachts. I liked this so much that I climbed on it. And it's
Boat?
like,
You like this boat?
yeah, I think it's like it's just like a regular, it's probably 28 feet long. It's an express style, which means it's got a windshield, but no roof, except it has a fixed hard top.
I don't like the way it looks, Jeff.
All right, check this out. It's now blue heron.
So we have a
Tiara.
We have a nearby viewer. His name is Phil. He's a captain. Does like a lot of fishing tours.
He knows a lot about boats.
Yep. He's just he just needed to take a little peek just to see visually if it works or not, and then we're giving you thumbs up, thumbs down. What do you think visually?
I don't like the top.
Oh, really? You don't like
Thumbs
the
up
fixed
or-
hard top?
I like the shape of Tiara, but not
Okay.
The hard top.
put an aftermarket ugly top.
Yeah.
When you're right. When you're right, you're right.
All right. However, Stephanie,
Yes. Oh.
I'm showing Stephanie a picture of the interior. Giant wraparound sofa.
Oh. Okay.
Diner booth. Remember, we're looking for the diner booth experience or like the sunken lounge experience in a boat.
I'm just gonna say I would definitely sit in that boat.
You don't care what your boat looks like when you're in it because you're looking at everybody else's boat, which is why I maintain that the pontoon boat is probably
The way to go.
yeah.
Such a great point. But I would sit in that damn boat all day long.
Yeah, and
would.
I also proved that you could sit in the pilot seat and do one of my favorite things:
Steer with your feet.
steer with a knee and work the throttle with your foot.
Whatever.
Operate with your not hands. Okay.
I'm not going to give you extra credit for telling me how you're not doing the right thing.
For mansplaining how I'm doing something.
Yeah, that's enough. We get the general idea.
Boat-splaining.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the wraparound couch again. We'll put some of these pictures up on the socials. Here's the stern thruster being fixed. We'll put that on the social media also. All right, moving on from the stern thruster because Stephanie can't handle stern thrusts.
Come on.
Stern. Enough entendre. That's actually, entendre could be like a good boat name. I'm trying to change the subject somehow from what's currently crippling you.
Do we have a run of show?
No, we don't.
Oh,
I decided to go into this with no run of show. You know what we're going to do? We don't have a run of show.
Go to the topic list.
We'll go to the topic list. Let's pick a topic, and then I thought we could ask each other some questions. I realized on our first episode that you wanted to ask me a question, and I shut you off. I was like, no, I don't want to talk about that.
You did. You shut me down. Yeah, but I'm not mad about it.
Okay.
I want you to feel free to talk about whatever you want to talk about, and I feel like that was not a bad moment. It was a good moment.
Yeah, it's important to have boundaries.
I can't remember what it is that I was trying to get you to answer. I can't remember.
Yeah, you wanted to talk in a more open-ended way about boats and boating.
Why do we do what we do? Is that it? I was getting like a little existential.
And I said, no, I don't want to be, because I didn't want to be existential right then.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I'm pulling the topic list up,
But
and we're going to...
I think you're not wrong in the fact that like we don't need to be like sitting here being like philosophical necessarily.
Yeah, I don't know. We can
But
do whatever we want. It's our podcast.
But I also think that there is this question of like, how do we use them and why? I mean, like, why are we talking about it so much? Because we use them lots of different ways.
I
right?
agree. Yeah,
we do. And we talked about last time. We talked about how I used it to get off the island. And that was it, right?
Yeah.
And that's not how we use our boats anymore. It's not
No.
how we do it. So how do you do it? Like, what's your boat use situation?
That's a little too open-ended. Bring it in closer for me.
Okay. So you live on Wellesley Island. You can get there by car if you want to. Your family is there. There's a billion people there. There's lots of fun to be had. Why is it that you get in the boat every day?
Because it is a place where it's not a road. There aren't lines. I can go really anywhere except where the shoals are. Because in the Thousand Islands, there are like really pointy piles of rocks that'll mess your day up. So their stakes are kind of high when you just go out boating around here. It's different in other places, like in the Chesapeake Bay, there's mud, and Jersey Shore, there's sand and mud. But here, there's rocks. Mm-hmm. But that's the topic for another day, shoals. Mm-hmm. But I like to get in the boat. I mean, there are times when I try to not get in the car for as long as I possibly can and do errands by boat, go get a haircut by boat, to go to the grocery store by boat. And I like it because it's just like you're outside the margins a bit when you're out on the water. Mm-hmm. The margins being lines on the side of the road. I got to turn left at the light.
I know my immediate reaction was like, you could just drive around in the field if that's how you feel, but you couldn't get to a grocery store that way. And also, it is more fun to be in a boat than a car, don't you think? Could we agree
just
on that?
Just in general, yeah. I mean,
could we make that like a basic tenet of the Boaty Show?
The Boaty Show has some theses.
Right.
TH.
Right. And so...
Okay, stern thrusters.
I'm glad you said it, not me.
Uh-huh.
And then, but in general, like it is more fun to be in a boat than in a car, unless it's horrible weather. But even then, maybe you're just proud of yourself enough that it's still fun.
Yeah. Well, I think that boating attracts people who kind of like mastery. They like to figure stuff out a bit.
Mastery.
I don't know, not mastery, but
or fuck aroundery. Which is...
Well, the people we end up hanging out with are attracted to boating because of the fuck-aroundery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there is definitely the mastery style of boater, but I just don't feel like...
That's not us.
It's not us, right? That's not us.
Boating in the weather, like, okay, you have a convertible car. That's more fun than a car with a roof.
I mean, to me, it's the same thing, but that's okay. To some people, that is more fun. Personally, I have a whatever you call that thing that you open on the top of the car, and I don't give a shit about it. I'm like, I'm still in a car. I don't care about the blah, blah roof or whatever I have. I just don't care about it. But I see where you're going with this, which is like open air is nice, right? Yes.
I like being outside. And so if I'm in a boat, I am way more outside than if I'm in a car or on a bus or on a train.
Okay, that's fair and that's right-ish. Yes, and I'm with you. So we do try, you and I both try to go everywhere by boat. We do. I go to work by boat as much as I can. I absolutely love it. It is just more fun. It's more fun. And because we live in the Thousand Islands and there are so many places to go.
A lot of shoreline, as you said earlier.
A lot of shoreline.
Destinations.
Yep. And so we are very fortunate in that way.
When my parents came up here for the first time, they were taken by that. They were taken by, it's more fun because it's transportation. It's point A to point B for a reason. And we also do plenty of boat rides where it's like, hey, let's just go around something because there's islands so that we can go around. So that's a thing.
But I want to pause for a second.
Yeah.
Because transportation for a reason is actually why, and this is not so much about boats as it is about the Thousand Islands, but this is why I fell in love with this place and didn't want to leave. Mm-hmm. Is because as much as I like getting in a boat for fun, getting in a boat to get something accomplished and also have fun is better.
Yeah, that's it. That's boating in the Thousand Islands. Let's talk about when we just go for a boat ride.
Yes.
Here, because that's where lots of people do in all sorts of different places.
Yes.
I think there are plenty of other places where people do point A to point B for a reason in a boat, and it's more fun and all that. But there are a lot of, most people boat like it's pure recreation, and we do plenty of that here. So we'll go to Eel Bay, which is this huge bay, and we'll float. We'll go
floaty pants
in the floaty pants. Yeah, water saddles.
Water saddle. Which has gotten. I just want to say, in the week that we've been doing this, there's a lot of play on the water saddle and the floaty pants. Like, there's some uptick happening.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to know more
thing.
about floaty pants. And
they want to know about our sponsor, Float-Eh.ca. Float-EH. Float-Eh.ca.
God bless those people, and may we be friends someday.
May we be friends.
Which also rhymes.
Since we're taking our floaty pants or our inflatable beaver or our giant maple leaf raft or our loon, goose, Canadian tuxedo, denim pattern tube to various places, why do we like that? Why do you like that?
Taking floaty things places?
Yeah.
Because then you get in the water and it's delightful.
Okay. We can keep it at that. We can keep it as...
I feel like that was a question that you had an answer to and I had the wrong answer.
No.
Why do you
It seems that you are comfortable with the answer being self-evident.
How about if I ask you the question?
Okay.
Why do you want to go somewhere with a floaty toy?
I usually don't.
Sure.
No, I get bored.
You get bored floating on the river?
When we go have rafts up and float around, I get bored. Have you ever noticed how I'll just swim off or I'll bring a paddleboard instead?
I have noticed that.
Yeah.
You need to be active in some way.
Yeah. Unless it's brutally hot. But it's
Right.
not often brutally hot.
It's not.
No.
I reflected on the moment in the last show where I was like, it's been 2 years and we've had like 7 days that were so hot, and I was like, that's a little bit like, okay, maybe
That's
so bad.
North Country summer problems.
It's definitely a North Country problem.
like when the traffic's real bad.
Yeah, sometimes the traffic is really bad in Clayton, which Jeff loves to make fun of me for because he lives in Philadelphia. And I'm like, listen, the traffic is bad, and you're just like, tell me more about the horrible traffic in Clayton. Where
When I ask you, like, hey, how's it going? You're like, and your butt hurt?
I am. I'm just like, can we talk about the moment where I was like, I like to take the boat to work, but sometimes it's kind of hard. And you were like, you just like stared at me in this like, I live in a place where there's traffic every day. And you just stared at me. So I was like, okay, it's not that hard. And then you were like, how much longer does it take you? And I'm like, well, it takes me like 20 minutes instead of like 10 minutes. And you just like stared at me, like you stared me down with this angry, you're just like, do you even hear yourself right now?
I didn't even say that out loud, but that's what I was. Yeah, that was
you
implied.
Just, like, had hatred in your eyes.
The hatred's strong. I just wanted you to think about it.
It worked.
I wasn't mad. I was disappointed.
Yeah. Like I heard your eyes in that moment, and I was just like, okay, all right, I guess he's right. I could take the boat to work every day, and it would take 10 more minutes, and I should shut the fuck up.
That was like a good existential moment. Boat. Why we boat? What do you like about the boat?
I feel like we owe it to our listeners to talk a little bit more about mermaid bumpers because I just want to say that I've heard a lot from our listeners about mermaid bumpers since our last,
including that you can get them in like, I will say, large and extra large.
Yes, apparently the mermaid bumpers so one of our listeners has already ordered a set of mermaid bumpers from
Anne.
Thank you, Anne Flynn. And they're on their way, and they're 36 inches long, which is amazing.
That's a lot of mermaid.
So I take back everything I said about questioning their viability as a functional device, because if it's a 36-inch long bumper, that thing's going to work.
Yeah. Because everything scales up with that. Yeah. Okay.
I'm leaving that right there.
I think that mermaid bumpers also, after looking at pictures of them online, they're actually kind of tasteful. They are not what I had pictured in my mind.
I have something
which says more
to say.
about me. Go ahead.
I have something else to say, which is super weird, so I apologize in advance. So, number one, I talked to a lot of ladies about this in the last week.
Okay.
And number one, the thing that kept coming up was like, the reason they're weird is they remind us all of the silhouette lady on the mud flap.
Oh.
That's the downside.
So on the semi truck on the highway,
Right.
not as much anymore, but it was a thing where there'd be a mud flap behind the wheel, and there'd be typically a silver metal outline
Exactly.
of like a naked woman, like thrusting her. Oh, another thrusting reference.
Yeah.
Thrusting her bosoms up into the air and her hair and all that.
Right. Like it's and that one we know that thing is fully in the not cool column, and so I feel like a lot of ladies are like, the reason we don't like the mermaid is it reminds us a little bit of the mud flap, which all of this is fascinating.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side, like I would say that, well, maybe not on the flip side. So the other side is, I don't know if anyone else has Googled this. You've looked at them, right?
At mermaid bumpers?
Yeah.
I saw the picture of what Anne Flynn texted.
Right.
Yeah.
So the hands in the air is a little weird.
Yeah. I don't even understand that. Is there some sort of like mermaid iconography that we're not aware of?
Don't know.
Or is that maybe that's like to make them more bumpery? Like longer?
I think we should leave all of this there and let everybody Google it for themselves and make your own opinion.
We'd love to hear on our social media posts. We'd love comments on your thoughts on the mermaid bumper. Why hands are in the air? Why not? What's up with like? And their faces are pretty nondescript. It's almost
but they
like
do have them. Just to be clear,
I was trying to make the point that like they're nondescript, so you could easily miss them. There's the picture I saw. It was like the face was like there were almost no features to it. It was almost like just like a mannequin face, which I guess makes sense.
yeah. Actually, the other way to go is just this is literally what I did 30 seconds before we started the show.
Yep.
Is I Googled ridiculous floaty toys, and it was the first thing that came up.
What, floaty? Like Float-A?
Yeah, for sure. So people could just Google that. I'm just giving
Google
advice to our
ridiculous
listeners.
floaty toys. I think with standing topics, the only one that we haven't touched on really actually is best or worst boat or dock day. Tell me about a great dock day.
Oh my God, there's so many.
That's kind of the point.
I know.
What is it like? What is a dock
all right,
day? What do we like to do on a dock?
Well, we like
for
to
a
do
dock day?
everything on the dock, right?
Life is-
Everything should happen on the dock, right?
Yeah.
So I don't even. I'm not prepared for this, so I'm riffing a bit here.
Yep.
But there was an amazing dock day when we had the houseboat anchored
Yeah.
in Eel Bay, in the middle of nowhere, and then all the boats came up, and we had like brunch, kind of like.
Yeah.
Means we had the little breakfast sandwich maker cranking out breakfast sandwiches.
Yep.
And we were making Bloody Marys.
Yep.
And we had more boats than people.
That is a topic list.
Yeah.
That is on the topic list.
Yeah. I'm not really sure how we ended up with more boats than people, but we did. And there were like 7 boats like rafted on either side.
I got a great picture of that. I swam out and took a shot of it
Yes.
from water level. I point like just basically to a landscape shot of it. I'll see if I can find it and post
Right.
it.
We got to post that. But that was so you just spend the day like whatever the boats can provide.
Yeah.
And then just swimming. And it was delightful. But the dock was central. The dock was like, you need some dock time.
The great thing about having a dock next to a boat is you can hang out in either. You can hang out in the boat, on the
Yeah.
boat. You can hang out on the dock. I like that combo a lot.
Me too.
Because I'm still floating. I'm still away.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like I'm away.
But it feels like a porch.
Yeah. I like porches.
Yeah, it's a water porch.
A water porch. Speaking of docks and water porches,
Oh, yeah.
we just took a walk around the boat farm. Stephanie and I are boat neighbors and have a shared interest in a farm field in which there is a dock, which we call Sinky because it sinks. We built
pretty
this dock
straightforward.
ourselves years
did.
ago, and we did not do a very good
No.
job.
Yeah, we built the dock and we built it wrong.
We put it in the water, and it was clear that its intended purpose, it did not fulfill its intended purpose very well.
Right. So, I mean, and just for a little bit of background for the listeners, we have had like some, like maybe not super dramatic, but super high, super low levels. So floating docks are a really good idea in the Thousand Islands. So we built one, right?
No, you
Built
just blew over something that not everybody's familiar with. You said super high, super low levels as if everybody knows what that quick turn of phrase means.
Okay. All right. What do I do I
Water,
have to
like
say more?
if you boat in a place where there are tides, same deal. Although, except these tides will last like 2 months. The water will be really, really high for 2 months or really, really low for 2 months instead of high and low. And that means that people don't really figure out how to deal with the water level like you do. And if you live in a place where there are daily
Goes up and
tides.
down all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. So we've had some high highs and we've had some low lows. And I am downplaying this because, as we've heard in the past, like it's not something I want to spend a lot of time on.
No.
Right? Like water levels go up and down, and people can deal with it. But floating docks in general, I would say, are a good idea. So we built one.
Yep. Yep.
And we had a great time doing it. But we did it wrong, and we didn't put enough floaty in the floaty dock.
Nope.
And then we put it in, but it's not like it didn't work. It's just that if you had 2 cases of beer in your hand and you stepped out on the dock, then the boat, then the floaty dock was not so floaty anymore.
No, and the kids would, if the kids all like went to the end to jump off, it would sink underwater, which is why we call it Sinky.
I know. Sinky is great. I did love Sinky as a dock because it kept you guessing a little bit, you know?
It did. It was interesting.
Yeah, it was
You
interesting.
couldn't really count on it.
No, you really couldn't. But it wasn't going to totally let you down. It was just going to be like, listen, I have my needs.
Are we talking about a dock now?
I can't remember.
Or something else?
But at the end of the day...
Or are we talking about my ex-girlfriend?
No.
No.
So, but Sinky, we love Sinky, but we did take Sinky out.
Yeah, we love Sinky so much that Sinky's in a field and there's a friggin' tree growing out of it.
Yeah, I know.
And we keep, every year we're like, oh, this is the year we're going to put more floaty into Sinky.
Wait, I feel like this is a good time to talk about all the different ways to float Sinky, because my idea, obviously, is that all of the boxes of wine that I've been drinking for the last several years, I should just push air into the bag of wine that's inside the box of wine and shove that shit into Sinky, and that thing would be floating
like
by
some
now.
sort of like tipsy like Venice situation.
I feel like I like to think of it a little bit more like just like it's like healthy recycling. Like I sit on the dock and I drink the wine, and then I blow up the bag of wine and put it back on
Shove it under the dock. Actually, this is the time for us to test this idea out, which we have been kicking around for years.
Yes, I agree with you.
And we wouldn't have to spend any money on, because like foam and stuff is really expensive.
And annoying, and like who wants to deal with it? We
No.
take boards off. And the thing is, like, all we'd have to do is like take those empty bags of wine, slip them between the boards, and then just blow them up.
Yeah. And there's a couple boards that fall off the bottom, so we could even just like shove them in that hole. All right. So listeners, if you'd like to help us out, DM us, direct message on the Instagrams, and we can tell you where to send your empty wine bags.
Oh, I don't think we need any more besides mine. But yes, I do want... No, I don't. I don't want your wine bags.
No?
I
Listeners,
love you.
never mind. Check that. We'll edit that out, except we won't.
I do want the listeners to know. I want
Stephanie's address is...
Listen, if you send me your wine bags, I will find a whole nother use for that shit. Let me tell you right now. Like,
besides Sinky?
Yes, of course. I mean, honestly, I think wine bags might be the new currency. It's like cryptocurrency, but slightly different.
No currency? Like what? Maybe you could... Stephanie, what if the listeners were to send you wine bags full of wine?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say no. I would go teach somebody how to dock a boat, and it would be fine.
Yeah, take back the boat.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we would work that out however we have to.
What's the exchange rate
I don't understand the question.
of wine bag currency?
More. Say more.
I don't know. It's like I like to consider and contemplate alternate economies. So I have some friends who I do my other, like I got a lot of weird hobbies, including firewood and chainsaws and axes and splitting wood and stacking wood and all that stuff.
This is all very, very true. Everybody should just Google all of this right now. It's amazing. And there we go.
Yeah. So Google Balakinwood, BALACYNWOOD. I'm really not trying to plug that because one of my New Year's resolutions, actually, my only New Year's resolution was to talk about firewood and social situations less because it had gotten it was too much. Anyhow.
Wait, didn't we come up with a slogan for that, which was More boats and less BTUs.
Yeah, more boat. Talk about boats.
Here we are.
And not fire.
And here we are.
It's happening.
It's happening.
This is the first time
Win-win.
I lost my train of thought. Firewood, alternate economies.
Yeah.
I am in a subculture of firewood and chainsaw enthusiasts, and we've established the wood equivalent unit. And I'll trade 91 octane ethanol free gas for chainsaw mill for time on a sawmill, so that I can get wood cut. I can cut wood, and then actually the Bodie Show logo was created by my friend PJ, who I traded. He's in this subculture. I traded him walnut that I had sawn on my friend Scott's sawmill in return for chainsaw gas, and then PJ did graphic design work. And so I think that we're a long way away from Sinky the Dock and wine bag currency right now.
But I'm tracking. We're in alternate economies, and also shout out to PJ because we do love the logo. We have a huge amount of love.
There's a whole story behind.
The logo is amazing. Great job.
Yep, thank you,
Everybody
PJ.
loves it.
There's a huge story behind. There's a good story behind that logo, which we'll go into later. It has to do with boat farming.
Well, we were talking about the currency situation.
Wine bags floating the dock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to say that I've seen the things that people use to pull their kayaks up onto their not docks.
Yeah.
And that shit could be made out of wine bags.
Oh.
I'm just saying.
There's like an Etsy shop here somewhere.
I'm just saying that there's a real, it's an undervalued resource that could be put to use. I understand that if you don't live on the water, that wine bag has no value. But if you do live on the water, that wine bag can be useful in some way.
Yeah. Get it out of its box.
I mean, put some double-sided tape on it, float it around next to you, and put your phone on it. It's a great idea.
That is a great idea.
Great idea.
I don't think that's a good idea.
No, it's a very good idea. I'm gonna call Float-Eh.ca tomorrow and tell them to create that.
They should make a giant wine bag floaty.
See, this is why it's never ending. I'm glad that we're doing
A.ca.
I'm glad that we're doing the floaty show right now because I feel like we just handled that really well.
Yeah, the floaty show has been it's floated through this entire episode.
It really has.
Yeah. We've had a few good puns today, not just boat names. That's good. All right, Stephanie.
Yes.
I think we should bring this show home.
All right, how do we do it?
Let's talk about our favorite boat and nautical words.
That's broad.
Like
our favorite words.
Nor'easter.
Oh, nor'easter.
Like that's a thing that like weather people and professionals say, and it's.
Do you want me to talk about this?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you sure?
I do.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So I did have a moment recently, which I couldn't stop talking about for like 2 weeks. Which like blah blah. There was a nor'easter coming, and all of a sudden I was like, wait, why is everyone talking like a Gloucester man?
And you called me, and you could barely talk when you called me.
I was laughing so hard. I was like, wait, there's something amazing happening. There's basically just a storm from a different direction, and all of a sudden everybody has to talk like they're a lobster man.
Nor'easter.
The nor'easter.
They do everything but like actually drop into that voice. They do.
It's amazing. I'm like, if the wind comes from the south, we don't say it's a sou'easter. I mean, maybe somebody does, but we don't in general.
No.
But I love the fact that like somehow nor'easter has like stayed in our collective lexicon in a way that we need to all say nor'easter to each other. And I love it so much. I really do. Like it fills me with joy.
It's good.
It fills me with joy. Like I cannot. In fact, I'm sad it's spring a little bit because who's going to say nor'easter all summer?
Nobody.
No one. Unless we find a reason.
Unless we find an actual Gloucesterman.
But wait, are there other words that have survived into our general lexicon that are straight out of Gloucester?
That's a good question. I don't know. We need to research that.
You have pirate speak in your vocabulary.
I do.
But are there any of those words that are like still here?
Other piratey, Gloucestery, just like squinty-eyed, like peg-legged vocabulary?
No, exactly.
No, I'm not coming up with anything. Like when you talk about hurricanes or waves or currents or anything. This is worth. I
just want everybody.
Nor'easter.
Yes, I just want everyone to understand that, like, we don't live in a sea shanty. So it's weird that everyone says nor'easter like it's normal. And also, there should be more of it because it makes me happy.
So you're both like, this is weird.
Yeah.
I want more of it.
You know me well enough to know, like, that's insane.
Listeners,
and also wonderful.
Listeners, Stephanie is the only person I know who seeks out uncomfortable situations because they entertain her. You literally will go.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, I don't know, should I go to this party or not? And then you'd be like, well, like so and so is going to be there, and then another person, and it's going to be really uncomfortable. All right, I'm going.
Yeah, I know. Like, it sounds awesome.
But you're not mean about it. You're not like, I'm going to watch these people be like weird to each other. You're just like, this gives you a thrill.
Right. I'm never mean. But also, let's get back to nor'easter. I just want everyone to remember how amazing and hilarious it is. Every
Nor'easter.
time somebody decides to talk like a fisherman just because the wind is
man, I
coming
can't
from a
think of
certain
another one. I'm going to have to look some of these things up.
It's so good.
I wish that I could say it as part of my job.
Well, maybe you just need to make a new project called the nor'easter.
I can name projects,
Yeah,
whatever I want, really.
Probably whatever you want.
I
You can be
can.
like, yeah, this is a project about children's health where I work at a children's hospital.
Nor'easter.
And this project is called Nor'easter.
I don't know if that's good because if I'm at work and I have to say that out loud, I'm going to have a hard time from dropping into the pirate. And once I drop into pirate, I have a hard time getting back out of it.
You'll probably get a promotion.
No, they already don't know what to do with me, and that's okay. That's kind of that's my sweet spot when people are like, I don't really know what to do with that.
I'm sure it is. Okay, what else do we have to cover?
That's about it. I think we should cover this party that's happening behind us, and hopefully, isn't overwhelming on the mics, but we'll see. There's a lot of people in your house. We've had a great day. You have raised $94,000 for River Hospital.
Hey.
Yeah.
Nor'easter.
The wind was blowing out of the nor.
It was. No, we can't say north anymore. We just say
nor. Yeah.
It was a nor wind.
Sow. Wet.
So good.
It doesn't work with west and east as much as nor and sow.
I know. It's all ridiculous.
My friend, I'm gonna play us out of here. I think this was a fun chat.
The only thing we didn't do is we've had 70 people call us and be like, why didn't you call me and tie me into the Bodhi show? And we were like, we totally will. And then we did this whole show with just you and me, and we did not call any of our friends. But we will next time.
We tried to call 7 of them last time and nobody picked up. Maybe that's why we're not doing it now.
Right.
Right?
I feel it's a little bit punishment for those people that didn't pick up last time.
Yeah. Except for Max while he was at his father's 70 millionth birthday party.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes. He did a great job. Yep.
He did a good job. All right. That's all we have for episode 2 of The Bodhi Show. Episode 2. That's not 1. So we did it once and twice. Here it is. Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you.